Daily, trying to get back to normal with the whole programming situation. Had some internet issues earlier. I guess I upgraded my internet bandwidth or whatever, and it just completely screwed everything up. I still have to get a new router, but the stream might look a little better. Who the hell knows? Just let me know if it looks better or worse or the same. It's the same ugly face on it. It doesn't matter. So today we're going to talk. We're going to talk the RPM Act. Is it reintroduced into the U.S. Senate, and is it too late? Also, the Rivian. So if you guys are not aware, the Rivian is a fully electric truck. I think that's like a standalone company called the Rivian that just was first to market with a fully electric truck, beating Tesla, beating Ford, because Ford still doesn't have the F-150 in production. This thing rolled out with a vehicle in production. Now, truck is ugly as shit. Ugly. It does stuff that's other trucks can do. It's ugly. I don't care. But for the usability, and that's not a proper word, but I'm sure that the versatility that it has, it'll be useful for a lot of truck owners that want some of that versatility and options in a fully electric truck. But today I'm going to mostly talk about the RPM Act being reintroduced, and does it matter? Does it matter? And I'll give you guys my thoughts on whether it matters or not at the end of the day, even if this passes, and how it can be reinterpreted by the EPA, because the EPA is full of a bunch of trifling ass motherfuckers that just want to extort money out of you. Sorry. I understand you guys watched the video from PRI with one of the guys who got hit, blah, blah, blah. I have my own thoughts, and obviously I'm not going to get sideways because I have my complete different thoughts than everyone else does on this stuff, but I'll kind of hint at it along the way. But before that, we're going to say hi to the people. Say hi to the people. So we'll see what the deal is. Company High Power says 85 Albi, High Roller, Paul H, Corey Leckby, Nick Rogers, Omar Garza. I hope you didn't get hit too hard by the tropical storm. Wesley Stewart with SVT Kilometers. We got Angel H, Clip Clop the Horse, with SVT, got him, O3 Stank. We got PNW, Jared Wells. Angel H, do you clock into work 10 minutes early? Do you sit outside and think about your life choices? That's why he hasn't started yet. Angel H says, I'm my own boss. Jeremiah Camp is in the house. Hopefully his car is close to getting ready. Hopefully my GT500 is hopefully getting ready so I can actually use the thing. Paul H, John Cena, Michael Nunn, E-Rock, Ivan D, Daniel Green dropping his balls on the chat. He just says, this 100 shit is for peasant ass hoes. I'm dropping 5. Love that guy. Thank you. Appreciate you. He used to be giving that money to Frank Perdomo. Now he's come over to me, so I appreciate that very much. Hopefully we can get your car rolling sooner than later. Okay, so RPM Act reintroduced into Congress, Senate, and what they do is this, and I don't know if you guys know how it operates. It gets introduced into a bill that can't lose. The Don't Kick Babies bill. The Save the Kitty Cat bill. And in the Save the Kitty Cat bill is like money for Nancy Pelosi's what do you call them? People, donators, people who donate money to the cause. But they've named the bill something that you cannot vote against, because to be perceived as to be voting against it, the Patriot Act. And in there you saw some trifling shit. But if you didn't vote for it, you didn't vote for the Patriot Act? It spies on everybody. But it's patriotic. Yeah, that's how it is. So, in my opinion, the RPM Act is a good way to start pushing back against the EPA in allowing your car that came from the factory with a VIN number to be converted into a race car. Got that? That argument has been beaten to death. But what about everybody else? What about everybody else? The guy that doesn't give two shits about a race car, who wants a very fast street car. Well, those guys are probably SOL, right? Because then the onus or the liability, who is the liability on? If I send you a tune and you remove your cats, run C16, open header, down the street, right? All the fucking Christmas tree light lit up on your dash. Everything's on. But you're rolling down the street and the engine is running well, but you have all the lights on from missing sensors. And you don't give two shits about street racing. All you're going to do is, you don't give two shits about race car shit, like track shit. All you give a shit about is street stuff. Well, those guys are fucked, right? So what's the biggest market out there for anything? The performance and racing industry. Do they mostly sell to race car people or to people that do shit on their regular daily driver cars and want a little spicy shit under the hood? Well, those guys are not even covered under the RPM Act, because according to the RPM Act, it allows businesses that make parts for race only off-road vehicles, race car only vehicles. So those parts companies, that's all they'll be making, right? Because let's say you make catted headers. Well, the EPA says you can't tamper with exhaust. So can catted headers be a thing? Again, I'm not going to get too into it and give the EPA ideas. But a lot of the language, and I really pay close attention to language, like when Joe Biden said, the Americans that wanted to leave Afghanistan are out. So the assumption is the Americans that are still there wanted to stay there. But when they say the Americans that want to leave, again, it's language. And it is literally a dance. Language is a dance. And if you know how to dance with words, you can get away with murder, aka defense attorneys. Well, how can Chewbacca lives on a planet full of Ewoks? That don't make no sense. And like the jury's like, what? Yeah. So if you're really good with your words, or if you recognize people that are really good with their words, you will recognize that the RPM Act doesn't have the teeth possible, the bite right behind it, where it will take the EPA and tell them, fuck you, buddy, get out of here. And any fine that you levied against companies up to this point, retroactively 10 years, should be addressed. Then they talk about defeat devices. Do not get me started on defeat devices. Please don't get me started on defeat devices. I'm trying to stay employed. So it's one of those things where I think the RPM Act, yes, it should pass. Absolutely. If you want to make a VIN car, a race car, great. And that'll allow a lot of companies to stay operating. But if the EPA then pivots and goes, well, we're going to go after the street car guy. We're going to go after the guy that's racing on the street, that's modifying their vehicles, and it's still in a state like Florida, Tennessee, parts of Pennsylvania don't even do emissions testing on cars that have under 5,000 miles. So I'm kind of like in limbo with that. I'm like, so what? Massachusetts, same thing. When I lived in Massachusetts, for the longest time, if the vehicle was 15 years and older, it was exempt from emissions testing. Then they changed the law and put dynamometers on all the inspection stations and said, if it was made after 1986, you still had to get emissions tested. That's right. Every Fox body in Massachusetts with insane modifications had to pass smog. So guess what we did? We tried to get it to pass smog legally. Reverting back many of the emission stuff, putting smog pumps back, everything. You know the smog. You know the Fox body game. Then they took those dynamometers away and changed the law and said 15 years and older, you don't need to fucking get inspected again. A tremendous waste of money, resources, and confusing the shit out of people. Now the EPA forever didn't give two shits if you modded your vehicle. Somehow they got a dick and a stick up their ass in 2015 and start hitting shops. And then recently, as early as February of this year, just went ape shit and started hitting everybody. Shops that were selling parts that were easy to be bought. So you hit the shop that sold the part, not the place that makes the part. How is the RPM Act going to work? How is it going to work in that capacity? How is it going to work if a guy's tuning parts that are deemed to be easily buyable, tuning them? Now you're saying the end user and the tuner not the parts company, the tuner or the reseller is going to be liable for these things. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Does not make any sense. So if anyone can make sense of that, please try. I would love to see that. But supposedly the RPM Act got reintroduced. It's back in there. People are happy. People are touting it, woohoo, and I hope it passes. And I hope that they'll do something to use that as a stepping stone to really tell the EPA to really fuck off. Like seriously, fuck off. You have no power here. But what also happened over the weekend? I'm sorry. What also happened the last 2 days? You stupid California motherfuckers. That's right. You stupid California motherfuckers voted to not recall Newsom. You literally killed your state. You literally killed your state right then and there. That was the stopgap. That was it. That was your moment in time. You want nothing but more restrictive laws. There was a gentleman on the tuning queue today. Oh, I got state ref. So that means he has to get the car smogged. I'm like, okay, move. And you know what happens when they move? They start voting the same dumb bullshit, aka Austin, aka Harris County, Houston, Harris County in Texas, aka everywhere where liberals move, they bring their bullshit with them. And I guarantee there are people on this chat right now that voted Democrat, and I don't know what the fuck your problem is. And why are you watching me? Like, I have no idea why you think that's like the proper thing to do. California literally shot itself in the foot yesterday by not voting to recall Newsom. I'm talking car shit, not politics, because now there's going to be lockdowns, tighter emissions laws, tighter smog laws. Do you think it's going to get better now that this guy has been emboldened to stay another 2 whatever years? Whoo, you guys done fucked up. I can't wait to see that fucking state sink into the Pacific. Just sink. Bye-bye. See you later. That's what should happen. That's honestly what should happen. If right down the San Andreas fault, God's going to go, man, fuck you. Rest in peace, California is right. Rest in peace, California. You are dead to everybody. Stupid ass motherfuckers, bro. Here in Canada, if our car doesn't pass emissions, says Joey G, we pay $400 and they pass it no matter what. What? Well, that is a normal thing, right? We all have a plug, right? We all have, in the states that have the tight emissions laws, what that does is create emissions passing plugs, hookups. Someone that gets you, flip them a 20, this and this and that. But what happens is you can get caught in some bullshit. You got to be really careful. Because if you're out there at a muffler shop or something, some guy's like, I'll pass it for $20. And you go, really? Then is that entrapment if it's an agent or if it's someone working on the behalf of somebody to entrap people into bypassing emissions testing? Bro, if someone ever says to me, yo, I'll pass it for you, I'm like, nah, fuck you. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to be set up by any motherfucker. In this day and age, motherfuckers are getting set up left and right. In the tuning queue, I have dumb motherfuckers that legit say, hello, Alex, I am removing the cats. Can you send me a tune for it? I'm like, ha 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 ha. Nice try, Bethany from the EPA. Sir, removing the catalytic converters is against the Clean Air Act and a violation of the EPA codes. You will have cat inefficiency codes if you upload our tunes, and we cannot shut off any lights having to do with emissions items. Send fuck you. That's what they do. They like try to entrap you. And I'm like, are you stupid to say the word catless in an email asking for a tune from a company? Whoa. Unreal. Bro, I just installed headers and I'm in Cali. Cool job, R. Torres. Cool. Don't get pulled over. R. Torres, remember this chat. You're driving around. Remember that chat you put up and you get pulled over and they say, boom, you got to go to a state ref and get this shit checked out. And you're going to struggle and you're going to go, you know what? I'm just going to remove it from the street and make it a race car only. And you're going to go, orale, Holmes, I should have not said some shit to Alex, man, because now they call me. They call me and they state ref my ass. There's always a way to pass smog in California. Okay, sure, until you get caught. See, I'm one of these guys that, yeah, of course there was ways of doing it illegally, right? I follow most laws. I follow most laws. When my Coyote car had free flowing exhaust in Massachusetts and it came time to get an inspection, I put the cats back on and reloaded the stock tune. Ta-da! I didn't owe anyone anything. I didn't have a plug. I didn't have a hookup, nothing. I just did the right thing. Blows my mind that you're out there spending $500 just so you can drive your shit-ass NA JLT car on pump gas so that you could drive it for another year or two without passing inspections legit. It's just so weird to me. Sucks because parts of California are nice, scenic, and nice weather. Se acabó el party. California is gorgeous, and that's the rub. That's the rub. The most gorgeous, nicest, supposedly they're in the middle of a drought. There's like no water anywhere in that motherfucker. Then all of a sudden, like thunderstorms happen, then there's drought again. Like the lakes are low, everything's going to shit, right? But it is gorgeous there. The weather's beautiful. People, some are. But then you have most of the state, especially on the coast and South Cali, full of just cuck-ass motherfuckers that are in charge, and they have the densest population. They're making the laws impossible for the normal people, like, you know, everyone else that seems to be right-leaning or conservative or at least normal. And I don't know how people can stay there longer. I don't know how anyone can stay there any longer. Like, I can't imagine you're just not sick of it all. Like, absolutely sick of it all. And you stay there. Like, and then the housing. It's like $800,000 for a shack. A 3-2 or a 4-3 with a 2-car. $800. Crazy. Drain the swamp. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Dude, it's over in California. It's over in California. Thomas Moore says, R-Torres, 5-0 everything aftermarket in Cali causes cancer. Michael Nuss has been pulled over 6 times with FFE in California. Only got a noise ticket once. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Everything is going to start going downhill really fucking fast. They're going to outlaw the sale of electric vehicles in New York and California first. So maybe you're 28 right now, 29, no big deal, right? You're super against electric. You live in an apartment or a condo where you don't have a charging station, and you definitely do not want to buy in California because it's way too expensive. To live in California is too expensive, and you can barely afford your shit-ass condo or your 1-1 or your efficiency. And then they're going to tell you, by the way, you want to buy a new car? Go fuck yourself. Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm going to fuck you out right now, motherfucker. And then you're going to go, I can't buy a gas car anymore because they outlawed it here before anywhere else because it's California. Good job, dickheads. We don't have emissions in Washington State. That's odd. There was just a guy passing cars here in local in AZ. He got busted and they pulled the registration on every car he put through. Imagine your plug for the passing of emissions, illegally gets caught. What is the first thing people do when they get caught and they're bitch ass hoes? Snitch, 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 snitch. And he's going to go, well, what happens, EPA or whoever the hell you are, if I give you all the names of all the people I have ever put through the system because I have a record and it's a digital fingerprint? Oh, well, we'll lessen the charge from 10 years to 2 suspended with a $10,000 fine. What do you think he's going to do? And you guys like, I got a plug. It's all good, homeboy. It's all good. Then you get... Hello? Who's at the door? California is a state to visit and not to live in. California is an armpit of earth. Way more than $800,000 for a 3-2. Shit. For a 3-2 is more than $800,000? Bro. For $500,000, you get a badass pad in West Palm. And it's expensive to live here, in my opinion. But for $500 or $600, you get a badass fucking pad, bro. Snitch like 69, exactly. If you can't get a car smog in California anymore, if it has a tune, how are you supposed to run CARB certified kits? Love the Bay Area, but I'll be out of here soon. Exactly. CARB, to me, the CARB testing, I am blown away that the CARB testing is not more scrutinized. Like super hardcore. Like there are carb EO kits out there that you know for a fact if you ran them through a proper smog test, bitch won't pass for nothing. But they got a carb EO number. And I'm like, how'd that happen? Bet me on that shit. A mill for 3-2 in Cali, and when they go to Texas, they pay cash for a mansion on a lake, Travis, next to Sandra Bullock and Michael Dell, whatever the hell that means. Housing is nuts. Currently buying a 3-bed, 2-car garage house for $650. Luckily, I'm military, so I'll be registered out of state. Smart man, Alfredo, but it don't matter. It's where you drive. If in Massachusetts, when I was growing up in Massachusetts, a lot of people registered their cars in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is a live free or die state, but that's dying. Why? Because Boston is bleeding north and south. So Boston is like a cancer and it's bleeding north and south. And all the people are moving further and further away from Boston that work in Boston, but they go to, Derry, New Hampshire and all this stuff. And they just, so a lot of people were registering their vehicles in New Hampshire. The state had a hotline, guys, if I'm not mistaken, and this was in the late 90s, early 2000s, had a hotline that if you know of anybody that is living in Massachusetts but has a motor vehicle that is registered out of state and they primarily drive in Massachusetts, they can pop them for tax evasion, excise tax, state tax, all this shit. Tax evasion, guys. Bro. Everyone, don't forget to hit the like button. Exactly. We got 90 likes, 241 people. What the fuck? 50% engagement rate, or, why even do the show? My parents bought their house for $350,000 when I was born 27 years ago. Sold it for $1.5 million and moved to North Carolina. 8,000 square feet, 10-bedroom palace for a little more. I have to move. Why would the fuck your parents do that? Boy, your parents got really bad decision makings. $1.5 million. They sold it for $1.5 million. And instead of settling for a $600,000 to $700,000, maybe 2-3 acre pad in North Carolina, they spent a little more than $1.5 million for a ridiculous mansion? Boy, your parents got it backwards. They should have just bought a $600,000 to $700,000 pad instead of taking the 1.5 and then still having a mortgage on it. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with people? Never let off says 1-800-SNITCH-A-HOE. Tyler Springman says, I just specifically moved to a county in Illinois that doesn't emissions test. They will eventually ref or something, but it's currently so rural, there's no testing. All of Florida is like that. The moment that doesn't go down, I would absolutely consider moving to a completely different state. Yeah. I am remote. I can work from anywhere. If fucking Florida starts getting to do dumb shit, county by county, I will move. I'm not going to stay in it and fight the power and get a plug and all this bullshit. I will move. And eventually you run out of places to move. Then you got to buy a fucking Tesla. Plain and simple. I'm going to fight it until I can't. And now they pay property tax. Oh my, exactly, Agent Orange. Some people had a 3.5, 350 mortgage, paid it off maybe. Someone buys it for $1.5 million, and then they buy a $1.7 million house. Wow. It's because they live in Trump National Golf Course. They're making $50,000 to $100,000 a month these days. Didn't grow up rich, but now they're doing well. It's still, bro, $1.5 million. The fuck's wrong with people? That's the problem. That's the American problem. People make fun of my pad. People make fun of where I live. And I have zero insecurities of my situation. I have money in the bank. I have 5 hot rods. That's what's important to me. I don't need a 60-acre anything to keep up with the Joneses. So if I got lucky and won the lottery tomorrow, do you think I'm going to live in a big, lush pad that is ridiculous? That's like 50 acres and no. I'll get a 3-2 with a badass garage, maybe an acre, because I'm going to cut the grass myself, and then get a boat on the water and chill the fuck out. But no, people that made it and got lucky in the United States Like they buy it right up against what they can afford. Like right up against it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Holy shit, what is wrong with people? I know I know a couple of business people, John Lund, Jake Long. John Lund from Lund Racing, Jake Long, successful. They do not live in mansions. They do not live in this big, lush, dumb, look at me bullshit. Reasonable, proper, very nice, but not show-offy. And I like those kind of people. Oscar Argueta says, how is it hard to get more likes when there are people watching live? I don't understand how people can't just click the like button once while watching this because they are lazy. Nazo says, you can't even get gas lawnmowers anymore in local Home Depot. All mowers are battery commercial mowers. Nice. Alex, it is paradise. It doesn't matter, Michael Nunn. It's the thought process. I don't care if they got a fucking big badass. It's just so dumb to me. To me. And that's the American problem, that everyone thinks that's what they deserve. Stop it. Get a nice 700. If you made $1.5 million in a sale, spend half of it in a home, bank or invest the rest. Nope. These motherfuckers want keep up with the Joneses bullshit. Oh my God. It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. I don't get it. I don't get people, man. I don't get people at all. If you clear if you clear Lake California, no emissions needed. If you clear Lake California, no emissions needed. More money equals more cars and more garage space. Exactly. Everyone goes, oh, what? You haven't made it, Alex. You're not successful. I am way more successful than 90% of the people on this chat. But I don't need to show you guys big badass pads, big badass setups to show you the money that I got. It's so weird to pocket watch other motherfuckers. It's so weird to pocket watch other motherfuckers, man. What cars would you get if you hit the lotto for $5 million? $5 million? I would not get another car. I would put that money in an investment, get a nice little, maybe $500,000 to $600,000 pad that I can swing, get a big garage, and keep my cars in there. I wouldn't get anything. $5 million ain't shit anymore, bro. A Home Depot earlier, and they definitely sell gas mowers still. I think they mean in California, Mustang Manny. I think they mean, unless you're in California also. Just buy a lot of houses and condos and Airbnb and rent them. Exactly. HCFU grad says, reminds me of the reparations skit from the Chappelle Show. These people just can't wait to give money back to us. Sabino Guzman says, do you think if the EPA hits all the states hardcore with emissions, that the cars that they modify will lose their value later down the future? No, everything that's illegal is worth more money. Right? Everything that's illegal is worth more money. If they hit if they hit everyone hardcore with emissions, that just means those vehicles cannot be on the road. That means those vehicles cannot be registered. That means those vehicles will be race only. And do you know how many people? Well, it depends on the vehicle, right? If it's a shit ass JLT cat delete car, you're fucked. You're fucked. You better put cats in it and actually enjoy it and drive it. But if they do it to like super high end vehicles, or let's just say, for instance, they say, hell, let's take it all the way, Sabino Guzman. Let's say gas cars are done. Legal, but tomorrow they stop selling gas cars. The value of current gas cars will go up. And I think the same will happen with like race car shit, depending on what the EPA does. The EPA is federal. So I love how a lot of people go, well, I live in a state that there's no emissions testing, so I'm good. It doesn't matter. They're federal. Federal trumps state all the time. 50% watching are EPA. Unreal. I'd be happy with an 80 by 100 shop-a-minium on an acre, or a barn-dominium, Be crazy. In 20 years from now, if you have somewhere gorgeous but expensive, I'm sure you will. You probably do it, but we won't know till then. Michael Nunn, you don't know me. You don't know me. If I have $350 million in my account right now, I will have a $500,000 to $600,000 house, big garage, 1 acre lot. I don't need to show anyone big shit. I don't need a lot of shit. I don't overconsume. That's the American problem. The overconsumption of everything. Well, if you got 5 cars, they're all on the road. I pay taxes on all of them and I pay registration fees on all of them. If anything, the government should fucking love me that I don't drive any of them more than 2,000 miles a year. And all I want is a place to house them all and work on them. I don't need a 70-acre plot of land because I can. That's fucking weird to me. It's just so weird to me. You know why though, guys? I think it's the way I grew up. The typical shit. Grew up in nothing, got nothing. So I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing to validate my life in terms of things. I value people, connections, and I live my life the most honorable way possible. That is like a gone. That's like not even a thing anymore. He's like, we won't know. Again, Michael Nunn, it doesn't matter what you think. I know me. I would never be comfortable buying a $1.5 million anything because I don't need it. I have a 2.2. I can right now afford an 800,000 plus mortgage. No problem. Do I do that? Fuck no. Keep my money in the bank. I have an F-150 that will soon be boosted and I haul a quad. Will air shocks be good for racing since I can choose how soft or stiff it is in the rear? To a point. I mean, it depends on how adjustable they are. Are you saying like old school air shocks or are you saying like airbags? Look, I know a guy who has a 7-second car on air ride. He has, shocks to play with the dampening, or I think he has shocks to play with the dampening. I don't know. Is an air ride kit shocks and springs basically in one? Or do you still have to have dampening control with an air ride kit? Let me know in the chat because I have no fucking idea because I'm a straight male. Alex, my uncle built the 8,000 square foot barn dominium. When you buy your land, hit me up and I will sell you the blueprint, says Angel H. That's the plan. Like a barn dominium would be badass. Just an acre. All I need is an acre. I'd want at least 5 acres so I could have a long driveway and be able to get in an 8th mile hits. That's actually pretty good. Thank you, Volkswagen, for kickstarting the EPA overreach bullshit. Exactly. This, again, guys, how did this all start? Volkswagen using software to alter the emissions output of the vehicle based on certain conditions. Unbelievable. They absolutely started it all. Fine, I'll just have to buy the house for you later. I understand. Air shocks, they are very adjustable and just the shocks and stock leaf springs. Gotcha. Soon you'll only want to keep the cash. Biden is going after deposits and withdrawals over 600. That's right, guys. That's right. Biden's tax plan is PayPal. So that means if you say PayPal me $500, PayPal me $1,000, PayPal taxable. It is now back to cash. Cash. Do you know why the RTD needs an internet connection to tune? Makes no sense. It's to checksum. I think it's to checksum. I'm not 100%, but it is to checksum. If you don't know what checksumming is, that's okay. It is a way of them validating that, yes, this tune was ordered by this guy and the RTD serial makes sense because Lund Racing did. Yeah, it's all up in the cloud somewhere. Gluttony, one of the 7 deadly sins, taking more than one needs. Riley Neufeld, thank you very much. Gluttony. I think Americans are highly gluttonous, and I don't think you need everything. Like my priorities, right? My priorities are my work, this channel, my health, my dog. Actually, you can reverse that. My health, my job, this channel, the dog, or the dog could be second. I don't need or want for much. I live a very minimalist lifestyle. I do not have a lot of things. I have a lot of cars, but I don't have a lot of things. And the cars pay for this channel. And every vehicle has a purpose. The Fairmont, it really should have a big inch Windsor and a stick in it, right? Why do I have a Coyote swap and a 6R80 in it? To help Jake at Power by the Hour develop parts. It is not for me. That vehicle is not for me. It is a rolling bench flasher and a rolling test vehicle for Power by the Hour or Lund Racing. Why did I have the red car? Because I wanted to learn the S550 calibration. It was boosted for a very long time. Very nice car. Then I went NA. Then it helps me with the shift stuff, the 6R80 stuff. And it is still the most sought after vehicle to make super fast out there, period. Why do I have a Gen 3 Mustang? To learn the calibration. No one else had a 19 at Lund Racing. We got a 19. My car was the basis for the base file. Then we boosted it. Then we worked on all the little quirks and kinks. The GT500 to go racing. The F-150 to learn the calibration because it's a hot thing. I don't buy stuff just for gluttony. I buy it for a purpose and I buy it to learn. The only thing I bought for me was GT500 and I can get rid of that car tomorrow. I have zero emotional attachment to that car. Cash is always king. Good thing I only keep 100 in the bank, not by choice, unfortunately. Isaiah with the Roush says, I'm thinking about selling my Roush supercharger. I owe on it and hate the payment so much. My Roush, because I owe on it and I hate the payment so much. I like the money in my account, so I think about racing an older Chevy 1500 paid off. Got it. Okay, EJ says, Yonsei, the internet connection is needed as part of their business model. Yeah, it's just ask them. You don't have to think it's a fact. America is extremely, and he cut it off there. Gluttonous. It is gluttonous. Look, his parents bought a $1.5 million. They sold their house for $1.5 million, and instead of banking the cash and getting a $700,000 pad, they got a 1.7. He said a little bit more than 1.5. I'm like, Jesus Christ, where 2 people? How many people live in that huge fucking pad? 2 people? 2 people. I go into multi-million-dollar homes and they are pointless, and their power bills get over $2,000. A lot of people look at a big, beautiful house, right? And they go, man, that's going to be super fucking badass. And I'm like, the electric bill, the AC running all the time, cleaning it, maintaining it. I fuck that. No, thank you. I am building a 40 by 30 with a 3-car garage on the ground floor with 1,200 square feet house above it. It's on a 15 acre, mostly woods, but I only cleared 1 acre of it to put to the house. Very good. Riley says, I would want a 3-2 and a 30 by 40 shop with a lift on 1 acre, a bit out of town, and then have some land just to get away from the shit, from a SHTF place to go. I don't know what that means. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, I guess so. Anonymous King says, preach, Alex. Thank you. Makes a guy think RTD Tunes put your vehicle on a serial number on file for someone to come knocking on your door later. Guys, Engage did that. SET did that. Unless you buy the shit used. Actually, none of them required an internet connection. No, look. I think the checksumming. It's part of their business model. I think supposedly SCT was thinking about releasing like a new version of Advantage, and it also needed an internet connection. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that right now. Car industry people tend to be more simplistic in their lifestyle and focus on cars. I get that, like my uncle. Poor use of the money. They could have made more if they didn't get greedy. I agree. Look, I could have done a lot of things with the money I had and the money that I make. I could have done a lot of things. But the first thing I think of is, do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. Do I get it? No. Do I need it? Yes. If I need it, yes. If I want it, yes. But if I don't need 2.5 acres, all I need is 1, maybe 1.5, and a 3-2 with a shop, and I'm a happy cat with a nice little pool because I love to relax in the pool, bro. That's a good look. Is an N-Gage considered a defeat device? Matt 107. That's the ambiguity around their terminology. Defeat device. What device can defeat emissions testing? A heat sink, a screwdriver. Think about it. A pipe plug. Meaning, if you can circumvent or make the car pass emissions, they deem it a defeat device. So instead of them saying tuners or flashers, they say defeat device to encompass everything. Everything. It doesn't make sense. The term defeat device, it's like saying slipper clutch. I saw on Stick Shift Nation, I belong to Stick Shift Nation on Facebook, very informative group, some of the fastest stick shift cars on the planet there. And I think there was an argument a couple of weeks ago about the upcoming Florida 2K race. In the rules, it stated on one of the stick shift classes, no slipper clutches allowed. Now, we all know what they mean. Black Magic clutch or long arm style clutches. We all know what they mean. But to the letter by letter, you could say, technically, sir, every clutch slips. Single, dual, diaphragm style, every clutch slips. So you're saying you don't allow any clutches in the class? And that was a very good point to make, because it's about the language and the words they chose to put in there into the rule book, which opens it to interpretation. Defeat device is one of those plays on words that opens it to interpretation. Anything that they deem can defeat emissions testing or make a car pass is a defeat device, not just a flasher or a tuner. A fucking heat sink can be a defeat device. Crazy. I'm just happy with the 6-car garage. I'm going to catch a replay later. Bitch, just want to check in and hit the like button. Edgar Sanchez, I love you. Thank you very much. Americans convince themselves that they need it. It's just a flex. Exactly. It's a keeping up with the Joneses thing, bro. I don't know why people see extra money in their bank account as a challenge to spend. Needs versus wants, real talk. I'm in a tiny, tiny studio and I love it. I don't even plan on wanting a huge place, but a 1-2 bedroom would be nice. SoCal, too expensive. I understand, 100%. On our account says, hey, Alex, Mr. Shelby got burned some days ago. Mr. Shelby? My Shelby got burned some days ago. It was married with my SCT X3. Of course you're a Shelby owner with an SCT X3 dead rat. With a tune, could I still sell the device or is it useless now? It's not useless. You can go to sctflash.com and ask for a unlock, but they're probably going to say, this thing is so old that we don't even support it anymore. If I'm not mistaken, SCT stopped supporting the X3 and under. X4 they still support. Remember when they came out with the BDX and it was like the worst fucking thing in history? They obviously didn't test it properly. They obviously just pushed it out and it was literally a redesigned X4. Then they said, oh, with new firmware and Wi-Fi capabilities. Then all of a sudden, when you tried to flash the 2018 Mustang, it said, fuck you, no thank you, and it bricked. Yes, it bricked the vehicles they were trying to tune with. Then all of a sudden they said, go back to X4. Go back to X4. Boy, what a wonderful time that was. What a complete fuck up that was on that company. Managing 1 acre by yourself is already a lot to do depending on your landscaping. Broad terminology helps them decide whatever they want it to be. Exactly that one guy. Exactly that one guy. Think of it. If the EPA is sitting there with their lawyers because they have to put it in language to, tell people what they're going to do. We are going after flashers? Well, it shouldn't just be flashers. It should be tuners too. And piggyback devices. What's a piggyback device? Well, it's like something you could plug in between the stock computer and your software to piggyback onto the ECM, TCM, or whatever and make adjustments. So that technically is not a flasher, it's a piggyback. Well, you know what, lawyer? Can you come up with a term that encompasses everything so we don't have to make a list? Defeat device. Damn, lawyer. Good job. So Chewbacca was a what? What was he? Chewbacca is a Wookiee. How can a Wookiee live on a planet full of Ewok? It don't make no sense. The Chewbacca defense that Johnny Cochran used on the South Park episode is wonderful. The Super Cool Tuner, it includes all the parts EPA hadn't thought of yet. Exactly, HCFU grad. It is 100% about the broadening of their power. So when the RPM Act gets introduced, and if it does pass in the do not kill the cats bill, in the do not kick babies bill, in the anti-racism bill, into the infrastructure bill, into the whatever bill, because you got to vote for it. That's where they got to stick it in. It can't be a standalone bill. No way. All of a sudden, that act is going to force the EPA to, shit, it passed and it's in law. So we either got to hit the guys directly now, like it'll ramp things up because they got to get money, or it'll force them to come after the end user or change the verbiage in their enforcement laws. Stop it. This is exactly what's going to happen. You guys keep doubting me, man. You guys keep doubting the shit I say, and then every single time I mention something, it happens to come true. I'm pretty good at knowing how people operate, and people are pretty fucking awful. Hell, someone just sold their house for $1.5 million and bought a $1.7 million house. Wait a minute, like someone sold their house that they bought for 350 for 1.5 million, and they bought her 1.7. They were okay living in the 350, but now they need a 1.7. Yes. Thanks for the info, Alex. Bought the XE3 many years ago with a Luntoon. Gotcha. The material things is what keeps me going sometimes. And not gonna lie, I set mini goals to get and goes pretty well. Gives you something to look forward to. Bam, boy, you and I are completely cut from different cloths. I don't even think about things. I look forward to acting right, meeting good people, surrounding yourselves with positive people, helping others. Do you think I do this channel? Yes, it pays me. I'm not stupid. But do you think I do this channel to not help you guys? Imagine I did this channel and just started sticking wrenches up my ass and dumb shit. Jumping the fucking Grand Canyon. Selfish shit. What are you learning from all those other channels? At least you're learning something. Tuning, flashing, data logging, Q&As. I value that. I don't value things. Here's some lunch money. Thanks for dealing with my OTR S197 tuning the past few days. Louis Lara, it's been fine. That stack obviously helped because it's flowing more air and it needed more fuel. Hopefully the new tune shifts where we want it to and it makes good power. Log it, and we'll keep playing with it. Why isn't Holly under fire or Summit racing? Ding, ding, ding. Everyone's like, Wookie. Thank you. Can a defeat device defeat your lack of perras? What's up, fool? Says Arnold. Wookiees live on Kashyyyk and Ewoks live on the forest moon of Endor. It don't make sense. How can a Wookiee live amongst Ewoks? It don't make sense. I would like to have a 3-car garage in my next house, but it will not overextend myself and finances to keep up with the Joneses. The Simpsons should make Alex a new character in the show. No. I'm not that interesting. No one knows who the fuck I am. Maybe a select few in the Mustang community are like, okay, but I'm a nobody. Chase says, hello, how you doing, sir? Alan Smith, I built an old hot rod to drive the weekend, but still wear beat up clothes. I do it for myself and don't have to impress or flex on anyone. This is a bad example, but Jesse James, formerly of West Coast Choppers, actually, is West Coast Choppers still a company? Like, I know he's not involved directly, like he's not at West Coast Choppers, he's in Austin somewhere. But is that still a company? What I appreciated about him is he didn't really show off his money except with his rides. Like he had some pretty badass rides. So he overindulged, but the guy worked hard. The guy valued hard work. And he fucked a bunch of bitches when he was fucking around with Sandra Bullock, but that's all right. Ain't no wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot wrong with that, but you know what I'm saying? The way he came across, his clothing wasn't super high end. Miami is the opposite of that. Miami here is the absolute opposite of what I am. In Miami, guys rent Lambos, guys rent Maybachs, guys rent Rolls Royces, Ferraris, super high-end vehicles to show they're badass. But they go to their 1-1, they sleep in their 1-1 and they rent their wheels, they rent their cars. It's all about look at me, it's fakery. And that's why I cannot, for the life of me, get along, be friends with, or socialize with people from Miami. I built an old hot rod. Already got. Thanks, Alex. This passed my 30-minute drive home so quickly. The hot sauce. Thank you. That's all it is. It's just talking some shit with the guys here. That's all. Paul H says, I'll stay living in my little 3.2 with my 2020 garage. That sounds great. That sounds like a dream. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd love that. Someone says, Wookie. I just want a good-sized garage and a house without the couch touching the wall. Look, I think my houses or apartments are gonna touch the wall for the foreseeable future. The only way I would grow out of this is if it was out of necessity. I leased a second garage, which is not cheap anymore. Rent went up $200-300 here. Rent went up, garages went up. Did I complain? I paid it because the alternative is way more expensive. Got a second garage here. Get some for my money, and I'm going to work on the cars here because I can't swing a big shop here because it is ridiculous. Can I swing it and struggle? Yes, but I don't want to struggle. I just want I already got that. Jesse James, Firearms Unlimited. Fake it till you make it. Eric V. He wasn't Gas Monkey Garage, but he also built them himself, and it's kind of showed more talent than money. Exactly, Fredo Diaz. If you can build your own thing and make it super blingy, You can't hate on the fucking dude. His talent is at another level. I get that. At least he has talent and some humility. Maybe what he does in his personal life, which ain't my fucking business, so I ain't going to speak on it. But his professional life, he's running it right, in my opinion. Jesse James has been building some badass 1911s. Would love to get my hands on one, but they are big money. Excuse me. Kilometer says, Alston Speed Shop was a shop he endorsed to get back into TV land. Got it. Big Daddy Patty says, so Miami is the equivalent to NA guys. No, see, NA guys spend a lot of money to go slower, to flex that they're badass, right? A fully loaded AC stock interior car boosted with a budget of a max effort NA guy will probably go 5/10 quicker than the NA guy does. Miami is where you go to be someone else. Los Angeles is where you go to try to make it. And New York is where you go when you made it. I agree. That's a very good way of putting it, brother. You must have heard that somewhere. Alex, they will clarify their vague verbiage and continue on. Their goal is to disrupt the industry. Mike's Garage, you're 100% on the money. That's why I'm saying, does it matter? Is it too late? Is it too late? Is the RPM Act too little, too late? Because they're going to change the verbiage, whatever you want to say, in their enforcement laws, and they're going to get around it anyway. It's bleak, but I think it's reality. This is why I'm a member. You have no problem helping us no look at me bullpop. Exactly. I'm really not a fan of the stunting life. Every single person I know personally that stunts, flexes, look at what I got. Me. Look at me. Look at this shit. Look at my belt. Look at my shoes. Look at my cars. Look at my everything. The most insecure people I've ever met. Because I can be cool broke. I'm good broke. Been broke many times. I have clear vision. My thoughts are clear. I'm a good person. I don't need stuff to make me. Fuck no. Jesse James has another show on Discovery now. I'll have to check it out because I actually upgraded my internet and that allowed me to get 2 cable boxes because I just stream on Sling or YouTube TV. So now I have 2 cable boxes. My bill is about $220 or $230 a month. Call me crazy. It's high, but I need the fucking fast internet. I need it. I can't. This is the side hustle and you guys pay for it. So I'm just going to put it right back in the show. I want all the money and the fame. I want the whole world to know my name. This is mine. Little late to the show. How's the family? Says Chevy Lifestyle. Paul H says, when rent going up, will it filter out the sketchy people from your apartment complex? Yes. They brought up the rent here. I am paying over $2,200 now. You can make fun of my tutu. I'm broke. I'm this or that. And if you're in Oklahoma and you're paying $700 to $1,000 for rent, you need to shut your fucking mouth. This is Palm Beach County. This is big boy Terry. There's money here. And I'm okay spending the money because the alternative is a $3,000 nut or a $500,000 to $600,000 house. Can I swing it? Sure. Do I want to swing it? Fuck no. Not now anyway. I need help. Look, if I get me a girl that is an earner, things will be easier. We can, cohabitate and share some of the workload. Do you know what I'm saying? But on my own, I'll struggle a little bit if I want to have a big badass house. But if you let the baby latch, the EPA would back off. Where's the baby latch and man giving milk?
The baby has been able to latch, but I've not been able to produce any milk. It's okay.
Let's get some of these guys in there.
Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
That's the EPA after figuring out that the RPM Act passed, and now they have to pay their lawyers again to redo the verbiage, whatever, in their enforcement laws. Unreal. This is your car starting after your cats are cut in the driveway. I love it. I love it. I can't believe people are still cutting cats off of cars. Unreal.
Ah, this smells like jelly beans.
Yeah, buddy. Oh my God. I'm gonna get the sound clips in. Fuck it. Where's Canelo?
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
Someone says make an LLC and out the bills on business expenses. I understand that, Ivan D, but then comes the problem of showing your income, right? A lot of people don't understand that when you set up an account like that, see the way my account is set up, you still have to be able to show an income on a personal level if you want to buy property. So let's say, for instance, I set up a dummy company and all the money goes to it and all my expenses go to it. And I basically have a tax situation that's favorable. When it comes time for Alex to buy a house or a car and I'm only paying myself $200 a week, but I can still draw from that account. How will that look on the books when Alex wants to buy something and he doesn't have enough income or credit? Not income, credit's good. To like a house. You got to move shit around. So now you have to maintain those accounts, pay quarterly taxes on those accounts. Dude, I had a business account. I had an LLC. It is a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. The way I have it now is set up way more favorably. Why? Because I manage everything myself. I film shit myself. I edit shit myself. I write shit myself. I produce shit myself. So if anything makes it or fails, I can only blame myself. That's the way I have it set up. That's the best way to do it. I don't count on anybody. Could you imagine if It's Just a Six, Cletus, and all them guys lose 3 guys? Like 3 people that make it all happen. Danny Green and Kyle Brandon pay for it. We just help. Exactly. Chase, why do people think that they're impressing when they flex? Not me. I want to be around people that just share interests and we're just good to be around. I couldn't care if they have a Lambo or a Datsun. Exactly. If the eviction protection is still a thing, guys, we have some sketchy fools that got to go. What's the screaming sound clip from? It was Gay Sex. The screaming sound clip is Gay Sex. I mean, that had to have been a tremendous orgasm. Just ridiculous. Cat theft in Connecticut is crazy. I'm literally at McDonald's and people are staring at me because of the scream. Where are you? Let's get it all going.
I do it with everyone. Black and white, young.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. I want to trade in my 19 GT for a Mama Luna, but they're super hard to find. I've only found one in North Texas and he's 4x2 for $41K. Yes, that is a very sought after truck. An RCSB Mama Luna, very hard to find. Imagine if I put a turbo in mine, run a 9, then put it up for sale. Ooh. Boy, I'll be like 50K. Vámonos. It's a 9-second truck. Puti. Mohammed, get me a double cheeseburger and an apple pie. What is happening? Gates X. Living the life. HughesNet internet. So did you guys not think? Yeah, guy tries to order and all you hear is a guy scream, "Why's that thing in your car? Why's your car doing that? It's fucking loud." Louis Lara became a Puti Lava member. Oh, yeah. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, welcome to McDonald's. Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order? Yeah, can I get a double quarter pounder with cheese and large fries? And can I also get a Diet Coke? Okay, anything else? Honey, do you want anything? Actually, honey, do they have apple pies? Yeah, can you guys get me a couple of apple pies? Sure, anything else, sir? How about you, Timmy? You want anything? I think I want a shake. Shit, bro. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Mohammed, I'm at work and the jelly bean sound got the attention. Oh, it smells like jelly beans. Where's it smells like jelly beans?
Ah, this smells like jelly
Let's get
beans.
Loud Man and jelly beans. Oh.
Ah, this smells like jelly beans. Ah, this smells like jelly beans. Ah, this smells like jelly beans. Ah, this smells like jelly beans.
This is why I love doing this show. Dumb shit like that. All right, guys, I'm going to get the hell out of here. We got a couple of minutes left. We'll get the hell out of here. Today, we talked a little bit of RPM Act and then just pretty much played you gay sex sounds. And we made of Michael Nunn's parents for daring to spend over $1.5 million for any property. Good for them if they're happy. But man, I do it a completely different way, but good for them. Congratulations to them and congratulations to Michael Nunn, because you're going to get left that property when they pass. So get used to cutting that fucking grass, and you're going to hire like Geraldo's kids, you know, the housekeeper and all the people that maintain the property. You're going to have to hire them, motherfucker, and these kids to maintain the property going forward, or just sell it and do your thing. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I will be back tomorrow, another YDBT Daily. I had almost 300 people on today, 264, 249 likes. Thank you. That's what we like. We like the good like to viewer ratio. Helps the algorithm, helps the channel grow, and it keeps me motivated to keep giving you guys content. I'm out of here. See you guys later.